Hi, I'm Oreste Mazzini from Lima, Peru. Here I'm presenting to International Journal of Science and Research my paper, Space, the Main Actor of Quantum and Relativistic Theories. These two core theories of modern physics are very complete and verified, but still there are missing points that must be resolved. From the quantum side, there are very interesting philosophical implications that challenge everyone. Energy in chunks, uncertainty principle, duality of wave particle, superposition of solutions, quantum collapse, locality are examples of these implications. From relativistic side, there are still many questions to go. What happens when the distance between energetic points are very, very near one to another? How energy is involved with space? What is dark matter? What is dark energy? Many theories have been proposed, beginning with Copenhagen interpretation, but the community is still corroborating them and looking for new ones. On this paper, I present a new theory of space, that maybe it will solve and will join all these two core theories, previous theories, and open new doors to the scientific community. Hope you enjoy it. Best wishes with it. To analyze the quantum side, I will only present one experiment. I think it's the most relevant experiment, is the double slit experiment, because it contains duality itself, wave and particle at the same time. Also, it could contain a quantum collapse. So I think that this will be very clear to you how this new theory space interprets this. Waves are part of nature. I like a water wave because it's very visual. You can see the interference between the peaks and the valleys. On 1801, Thomas Young proposed the first double slit experiment with coherent light. He found this pattern, and it's very important to take in account that the pattern only exists if the slit's width is in the magnitude of the wavelength dimension. On 1923, Louis de Broglie gave an impressive concept that duality was not only for light, it was also for particles. Particles behave as a wave. Here with a double slit experiment and beams of electrons passing through a double slit, and interference pattern is seen. That is a confirmation that nature has a wave also. Some numbers need to take an account. Electron is too small to have an interference with an experiment slit of 62 nanometers. Something is going on. But in nature, particles are always seen in a compact form, not in a diffuse form. You can look through internet nuclear decay particles, electron photography of a hydrogen atom, always compact form. And in this experiment, double slit is always compact. At the end, it's always one point, one compact electron. Meanwhile, bunches of them will follow the interference pattern. Now, theory of space has this hypothesis. The clue is that normally people interpret duality as a double thing of us, only one entity, and it's really two entities that coexist together. One of them is space, and the other is particles or electromagnetic fields. In this case, the theory supposes that space is the one that is oscillating, and particles and photons are present only when the space is present. This oscillation is between 3D space with a zone with no space. You will understand this no space because action at a distance will be understood immediately, or tunneling also will be understood. Then another thing is that quanta doesn't have all the complete information, doesn't have a full definition. Uncertainty principle is in between. Particles assume circumstantial values when they are in the 3D space, but in the next fluctuation, they will assume another values because of this lack of full definition. Meanwhile, the total energy, the total momentum, the total charge, and the type of matter is maintained everywhere in 3D space and a no space zone. Conservation law is all the time. On each cycle, circumstantial values will give an apparent oscillatory behavior in the quantum scale. Einstein talked about that God doesn't play dice, but I think that nature itself, not having a full definition, will have an oscillatory behavior, completely understandable. If an additional information is given, immediately you will have a reset or a collapse of the system, and you will appreciate that nature behaves fluidly. With this, you can now understand the double slit experiment. You can see that a compact electron is in a huge volumetric quantum space. And this huge space, huge wavelength, is the one that passes through the double slit, and then we'll have a two solution propagation where the non-space with the 3D space interfere between one to each other. At the end, you will have a space in a diffuse way with interference. An electron will just take one position in every fluctuation, one solution every fluctuation. When a detector is before a slit, an additional information is handled. So the system no longer will have an interference pattern, as predicted by Richard Feynman. Now, with this reasoning, you can analyze the hydrogen wave function for the orbits. It's the same thing. Kinetic energy and potential energy on one fluctuation is one way and another fluctuation is another way. Same will happen with the spin. And every fluctuation spin can change from plus 1/2 to minus 1/2. That is completely understandable in this space theory. For general theory of relativity, I have some comments that is presented here. Just another one. Be careful with those visualization with a rubber sheet and very heavy balls. That explanation is using gravity to explain gravity. Theory space with respect to relativity, it takes a different view. It takes like the volume of the quantum package vibrating and having a relation between its energy with its volume in acceleration. A QPA, a quantum package area, is used, and that is used thanks to the Newton brilliant gravitational law. The other insight is after having this internal volume is related to the surrounding in a diffuse way given by the shell of a volume. Again, package energy has a final relationship with its equivalent surrounding space in acceleration. In the paper, I go a little bit farther and analyze what would happen when the two energetic points are very, very near. Their speed, very fast speed near, C value. So constant G will not longer be the same. It will be influenced by the factor, the Lorentz gamma factor. From Minkowski invariance, energy has different presentations. It's mass energy, kinetic energy, strong force energy, weak force energy, really a multidimensional space. And traditional 4D can be extended. Even more, with the negative energy solution presented for the first time by Dirac, antimatter has a repulsion with matter, but have an attraction with another antimatter. Same will happen between matter and matter. So in the universe, clusters will be formed, but this cluster will be repulsed between each other. Maybe this is what is happening and making universe an expansion. Hope with this presentation you see space in a different way, and it will open in your mind different questions, new questions, like what is the non-space zone, where everything is together, just all things in nature, vegetable, animal kingdom, with material, with electron, magnetic wave, with ourselves, everything joined in space. I hope that you enjoy it, that you read it, and thank you very much.